Hey everyone, welcome to Priyanka on Air. Today's episode is for all aspiring developers. I'm your host Priyanka, and today I'm super excited to have a special guest with us. Someone who has been making waves in the world of mobile development. Whether you're just starting out or looking to level up your dev career, you're going to get a ton of insights from today's conversation. We will be talking about how they got started, tips for standing out as a beginner, building a strong portfolio, cracking interviews, and even how AI and new trends are shaping mobile dev today. So grab your headphones, maybe a notepad, let's jump right in. We are joined by Samar, a senior mobile development engineer, a mentor, a career coach who has helped countless beginners to land their first roles in tech. Thank you, Samar, for joining us today.
Thank you for this invitation. I'm really happy to join you in your podcast.
So let's start. We have divided our podcast into five parts. So I'll start with the first part, getting started and the mobile journey. So I'll start with my first question. What's the story behind you choosing the mobile development? Was it something you stumbled upon or always aimed for?
Good question. For me, I have different story. I didn't grow up saying I want to be a mobile developer, but when I was studying in my university, I was in my third year, and I am a football fan. I'm a football fan and also a player. So I have been in this community for a long time, and I wanted to do something. I wanted to start working or learning something. So I started with creating a project for this community. So what I started with is to creating an application, which is with two of my friends, and the name was Captain. It's about football community where each player have his own profile and teams, and they can challenge each other. And it's ended up to be a startup, and we get investment, and this is how I started my mobile development, because I wanted to do something that people can use it in their hands, and this is what inspired me to do that. I'm creating a real world project or a real world. So this is what I like about mobile development, that you create something that people actually use and it solves problems
Yeah, that's
for.
really nice. I know a lot of people who just solve their day-to-day problems with the applications. Like
Yes.
I know a few people they used to play every day. So for writing the scores, they used to use Notepad earlier. But now they have, built an application where you can just put all your scores and in the final
Yeah.
results you will know who has won
Yes.
the match.
Yes, I do that. Now I can create any application. So any problem I am facing myself, I'm able to create application to solve my own problem and my community problem. So this is what I love the most about creating mobile applications.
Yeah, that's really nice to know that, students are that aware that they know their problems and they can resolve it. Okay,
Yes.
so let's jump on to next question. Mobile dev has so many parts, Android, iOS, Flutter, React Native. What's your advice for beginners choosing their first platform or language?
Okay. I think for beginners, what they focus on is to learn something that you can work with it, and that you can create a complete solution, that you can find a job by it, or create a project that you can release it, or creating an app that people can use. I am super fan and super supportive of Flutter, and I will say Flutter for any question or any answer about what technology to use, because I think Flutter is a cross-platform. It's easy to learn, and it's rich with UI components. So any new developer or any new programmer want to learn mobile development, he, instead of knowing one programming language, which for example letting him create an Android application or iOS application, he can learn Flutter, and easily he can create an application for multiple platforms in fast development. And now there is a lot of courses or resources to learn from it. So I think Flutter is the best thing to learn for mobile development.
Yeah. I think everyone is now, try to learn Flutter. It's very
Yes,
famous in the
so
market.
many. Yes, so
Yeah.
it's good because a lot of companies are moving to Flutter, because they want
Yeah.
the main important point about it is you have one code base for both platforms. Before, this was a really problem for companies, because they have to create two different codes, one for Android and one for iOS.
Yeah.
So this is power of Flutter.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, in addition to that, I want to ask what tech stack would you recommend for beginners right now, especially those aiming to get hired quickly?
I think like it depends on which path they want to go. Like if they want to go with mobile development, I suggest to learn Flutter. If they want to get with backend development, I suggest to learn like about JavaScript, for example, because I see like most of the companies are using like
Yeah.
Nest.js or JavaScript. And for mobile development,
Mhm.
there is two possibilities. One is React Native and one is Flutter. But like from my point of view, I think like learning cross-platform
Right.
is much better like tech stack to learn
Mhm.
or to start.
Mhm. My next question, do you remember how it felt like when you have created an app?
Actually, I felt so good because like you are seeing something that you yourself created is being used firstly by yourself, then by your friends and by your community, and like everyone is like talking about it and like giving you like feedback. This is it could be better like this, and also it's like solving a real life problem. For example, we added a feature to like book a court from the
Mhm.
application.
Yeah.
So this like really feel good that everyone is talking about something you created and they are using it and like they talk to you like about something that you created yourself. So it's really interesting and good feeling. I miss it, to be honest. It's one of the best things happened for me in my career.
I remember those days when we used to, develop something in college days, and people were so happy. Oh, you're so intelligent. You can do this, you can do that, something
Yes,
like
yes,
that.
yes,
So
yes.
I used to be always on cloud nine. So it was actually a really happy moment for me. Okay, for someone who's starting today, can you walk us
Mm.
through a roadmap from total beginner to job ready mobile developer in 6 to 12 months?
Okay, I think first, if we see it as a roadmap, like for the first 2 months, I think he need to learn the basic about programming, basic about like problem solving algorithm, and like the main things about programming language that he want to learn. Then he can like from since we are talking about mobile development, so if he start to do like learning about the language, for example, Flutter, so he learn about the language in the first 2 months. Then like the next 2 months, he can focus on building like a feature, full feature, which is like building a components and UI component, building actually a pages and learning how to create like full feature. And then he can focus on working with data layer, or which is like fetching like APIs, how to work with APIs with real data. So working with real data let you learn like how the APIs work, how the backend communicate with mobile, with front end, and like how they like communicate with each other, and how you can use this data that exists in database and transform it to like a UI component that the user can see. So this is maybe for the next 2 months, and then he can learn about Firebase and Git, which is so important, which is like Firebase have a lot of features which is required in all mobile development. For example, notification, authentication, like for any application require a login, for example, and sign up. This authentication part, notifications, and learning about Git, like GitHub, and get like how to push code, which work when you work with team, you have to have a Git and like push your codes, do comments and so forth, and gathering all the things that you learned in like one project, document it well, and this is very important because add it to your GitHub, because anyone who open your project on GitHub, it need to be easy to understand and easy to see, and also learning about how to structure the project, because mostly like juniors learn, okay, I know how to create a page from UI perspective, I know how to fetch API, for example, and like transform the data, but I don't know how to link them together into like a full flow. So this experience, I think, focusing on building one complete project and learning how the best practices, the main focus will be. And then after publishing the first GitHub project, and document it well, test it well, represent it well, because presentation is very important, because anyone will open your GitHub will see your GitHub is as developer is your portfolio, and one project with good presentation is enough for you to show any recruiter that when you apply to job, he can open it and see it, and from it he can see your level. So yes, I think this could be starting roadmap.
Yeah, thank you so much for detailed roadmap. Anyone who is starting their career, it will be really helping them. Let's jump onto part two, projects, GitHub, and building a standout profile. GitHub, you have already explained a lot of things. But let's start with our first question. How important are personal projects for freshers who don't have internship or experience yet?
Actually, this is the most important thing because when you watch courses and learn online, you only apply what the instructor teach you, and it's limited. But when you learn or when you start building your first project, you come up to a real world problem that you need to solve. And when you build your own project, you are not building only a code; you are building it from product wise. You think about it as a product, as a features from business perspective, and also for sure the technical perspective. And then you are not building parts of code. Here I'm building UI, here I'm building data source, for example, or you are building a full project. So it's so important to focus on personal projects because this is your portfolio, and it's the way to learn a lot of things. As I said, applying what you learned in courses is limited and doesn't teach you everything. Creating your own first project, this is when you get to learn
Right.
how things get done, and then you get a chance to explore in the community. For example, I want to add images. I go, I check what the packages the users are using or the people are using. I go read a blog or article in Medium about it. So you let you explore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's
thank
right.
you.
Explore as much as you can. Okay, so what type of mobile projects really stand out beyond the basic to-do list?
I think to-do list is the first project which everyone started as junior, but it's limited. Like there's like one feature or two feature, but I think if the person think about it that I want to build a project that solve a real problem,
Right.
okay, in this way, like he will create something, maybe new idea, maybe already existing idea. It's okay, but he got to learn, as I said, a lot of aspects in this project and like how to build it. So for sure, it's not enough to build only to-do list. It's
Yes.
always better to explore because to-do list is simple application, doesn't have data fetching or connecting with anything. So it's important to find an idea.
Hmm.
You can find it online, you can create your own idea, but it's really important to create something other than to-do list.
Yeah. Create something unique or create some unique features which can
Yes,
help people around you.
yes, yes, exactly. Like something that you personally could use or your community around you, because they can help you with their feedback and you can test it on yourself firstly.
I
So,
totally
yes.
agree with you. I think that's a really nice answer. Okay, how polished should a project be before it's shared on GitHub or with recruiters?
Hmm. Okay. Firstly, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be 100% like ready to
Hmm.
publish it. You can publish it directly. But what is important about it is to be well structured, well documented. And I think this is the most important thing because mostly juniors doesn't care about documentation. They think it's extra step which is not required or not important. But actually, when someone open your project on GitHub, he will not go in details in code. And from your point of view, you think you have the understanding of the project on your mind, but you need to explain it to the people in easy way. And documentation is the key for explaining it well. So documentation is so important, and also well structured project. And I think most of junior developers or who start create a project and they think no, this is how it's created and they publish it. But actually, all the projects are able to be refactored directly. And since he started with his junior skills, with this project he built it, for sure he will not build it in the best practices from software perspective. And while he is building and then he will learn new things. So he can apply them on his project
Also, you have mentioned that create a detailed documentation.
document.
So anyone who is reading it can understand what you are trying to achieve.
Exactly, and not documentation about the code, what each function does, and what is this for loop doing. No, for sure not like this, but how the project is structured,
Right.
how I can navigate through the project, and what the problem is. So
Okay. That's really nice answer. Okay, do you recommend publishing apps to Play Store or App Store, or are GitHub repos or screenshots are enough?
I think in early stages, like creating in a project, publishing a project in GitHub and adding, as I said, like documentation and well structure is enough, but adding, publishing it to like a store is extra. Like when a recruiter open up your project and see it's published, they know that you have the experience of deployment and like the guidelines of stores, because it's not easy to like publish in Play Store or especially in App Store. It's really complicated. So this is an extra learning step for you to learn how to deploy the project, and it's a plus for you when recruiters see that you already published an application. So I think it's a plus, but it's not a must.
Oh, okay. So it's not necessary to publish your applications on Play Store and App Store.
Yes, yes. But if you created a project and you think like people can use it, it's really amazing to like publish it and see the user feedback, and like it will let you learn a lot of things about deployment, also about like user reviews, how I will get feedback, how I'll apply this feedback and like enhance my project. So it's good.
That's true. Okay, so what are some green or red flags you look for when reviewing a candidate's GitHub profile? I know that you will be checking the documentation, I mean the structure. What else?
As you said, like for sure that the structure is important, documentation is important, but there is like a point that a lot of like developers facing, which is like I myself sometimes, since I started with my own project, we publish it, then I moved to a company, then to another company, then to another
Mhm.
company. So I worked with like private GitHub repos, okay, directly. So I didn't like actually publish like a very amazing or like a complete project on my GitHub. I understand that the GitHub is a portfolio of you. It depends if the recruiter is checking it, like they will focus on, as I said, like how you present the project, screenshots, video. But if like someone who is like has software experience, he will check more about the code, about the structure. Yes, green flags, you mentioned them, having documentation, the features actually work. This is important. And if the recruiter is seeing the project, he will care about UI because he doesn't have like a software experience. So he will check if the UI is good. Nice. And red flag, like sometimes juniors publish project, which is, for example, has multiple pages or multiple things in one page. And they don't split it by files. They don't actually add what these files do exactly, and the code is not readable. So this is really a red flag.
Okay, so let's jump onto part three, learning resources and growth. There are so many learning platforms out there. What are some free or affordable resources you would recommend to beginners learning mobile development?
Actually, there is you don't need a lot of money to learn. Like you
Yes.
don't need to spend money on learning in courses, because there is actually like really good free courses on Coursera, I think, on YouTube. And what I really like suggest or like advice is to like, for this is what happened with me exactly, which is I learned from the official documentation of Flutter, because they have like a rich full documentation. For example, I want to build 1, 2, 3. I check this one like need 5 steps, so I check each step on the real and the official documentation and see how I can like apply it and search for it online. So people can choose how they want to learn. Some people prefer
Right.
to like watch courses and follow each step that teacher or like instructor want
Mm.
to, and some people can learn with themselves. I actually it depends on the person how he likes and how. But actually, no need to spend money. It's like there is a lot of resources that you can use it to learn.
I also believe that documentation is the best way to
Yes,
learn because you can get everything, you cannot find it everywhere. Like you have to Google,
yes,
you have to look for the particular thing. But in the documentation, you can find everything.
yes, exactly.
Okay, how important is consistency to learning versus jumping between the trends or new tools?
I think consistency is the key of like improving and improving your skills and having more experience, because I see this is a big problem happening with people, with juniors who are learning. Because for example, someone start, okay, I want to learn Flutter, I learn Flutter for 2 months, then like I want to find a job directly. If I don't find a job, maybe it doesn't work, I jump to something else.
Yeah, that's right.
This is doesn't work. Like
Yeah.
you need to firstly like choose like what you really want to work with, and like have consistency on it. This is how focus on what you really want to learn and want to improve yourself, and then you grow and learn more things, and you are not getting hired because you limited yourself for
Yes,
this
right.
is what you already learned, but I think you need to learn more to be able to get more experience. So I don't recommend at all jumping between like different tools or tech stacks.
I
Focusing
totally
on
agree.
one
Yeah,
is the
yeah. I do agree with you. I think be focused. Whatever you are learning, learn it with, full dedication and you will get the results.
best.
Okay, so next question is what tools, SDKs, or APIs do you think every mobile dev should learn early in their journey?
Actually, there is three things that you need to learn directly, and they are required and so important. Firstly, as I mentioned before, is Firebase, because Firebase it's a rich tool, and especially with Flutter, it helps with like authentication. There is database, like storage, notification, cloud storage, as I said. So Firebase is a must, not an optional. You need to learn how to work with Firebase. Also, like for analytics, Crashlytics, there is no Flutter project without Firebase. This is first. Second, GitHub or Git tools, how to push commands, how to merge command, how to work with branches, what is the main branch for you, how to merge for it. So mainly Firebase and Git are the most critical things to learn.
Okay, that's right.
And also API fetching. This is like so important. Learning about RESTful APIs and the GraphQL. This is the two-way of fetching APIs or getting data from backend. You don't have to learn both because GraphQL is not used in most of the application. When you become a senior, you could learn it, but start with RESTful APIs and how to call HTTP request. And this is three parts, as I said: Firebase, Git, and HTTP request or RESTful APIs. This is the three things important.
Thank you for the detailed answer, Samar. Let's jump onto our fourth part interviews,
Okay.
applying, and breaking into industry.
Okay.
So, my first question is what types of interview questions or coding challenges should fresher expect in the mobile dev roles?
I think it depends on the company and in the role he's applying for, because I applied like for from my experience, I applied for multiple companies, and each company have its own way of interviewing. Some of them could send you, for example, I want you to create this feature and you have free time to create it. For example, you have 2 days, you need to complete it. In this way, like they see how you create a project, how you structure it, how you code it. They don't care about like how fast you do it. They care about like the quality of the code that you write. And some of them focusing on like how you work under pressure or like how fast you can do it. Like they have live interview, which is like I want you to create like search page with products, and it's live interview, which is like live coding. I think like most of developers hate this because they like feel pressure and they feel being watched. And this is two parts of them, and the third part is technical questions. So uh, you need to prepare from theoretical part how you could answer the main questions of they, because mainly they will ask you about the technical from like theoretical part, and also from practical part they would ask you about they would ask you to like apply something directly. So
Okay, I think that's right. And also, is system design important for junior roles? When should freshers start learning it?
I don't think it's important for juniors to learn system design. Like this is the seniority level, and there is a lot of things to learn before jumping into system design. So let's not focus on that.
Okay, that's right. Because I heard this actually system design is very important. So that's why
It's
I was
important for sure. It's important, but not for a
for
person who is
juniors.
just learning. Yes,
Okay.
not for juniors.
Yeah. Okay. What's the best way for freshers to approach companies? Through job portals, LinkedIn's, or any referrals?
I think it depends on the company and the country, because when you are in your own country or even in another country, referral is really strong point that most of the people find jobs with it. Someone refer you and you find a job. And LinkedIn also is very strong For me, my past 2 or 3 jobs, I found them through LinkedIn. So I think we live in Dubai. So in Dubai,
Yeah.
LinkedIn is the
Yeah.
most
Yeah, I do agree with
preferred.
you. Every job I got through LinkedIn. Also, when I used to work in India for a quite long time, there also LinkedIn is very important, right? You can find jobs, people can refer you if you have
Yes,
connections.
yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you so much. And also, are freelance gigs or internship helping stepping stones? How can beginners find those kind of opportunities?
You mean opportunities as a freelance?
Yeah, or internship.
Hmm. I think it's so hard to find. I don't want to like make people scared or like upset that it's hard to find. But it's not easy to find intern, especially here in Dubai. It's not easy because companies are focusing on like fast uh, delivering,
Right.
so they don't do intern so much. So finding intern or finding a freelance job, it could be online regardless of the country. So I think there is already websites for that. For example, in Arabic community, there is a website called Khamsat. Multiple people who I know find job on this, and there is also international websites to find freelance work. So it's basically web need to search everywhere. There is no clear path like do 1, 2, 3 or find here or here. Like it's really complicated thing. It's
Yeah,
not
I
easy.
remember earlier it was easy that send an email with your requirements that I want to do internship in your company, and then they used to take your, interview or the coding challenge, and then you
Yeah.
used to get selected.
What changed that now there is a lot of developers and there is
Right.
yes, no, for any opening position you see hundreds of developers applying for it. So this increase happened in the community, affected people who are really learning and searching for new opportunities, unfortunately.
I think, yeah, that's right. Okay, what's a common mistake you see freshers make when applying for the jobs, and how can they avoid it?
One common mistake is that they have the same CV which is applied for all the jobs with all the job description. I know it's hard to edit CV and hard to change it, but if you could have multiple versions of your CV based on the job description, for example, there is job opportunity for e-commerce platform. So if you create like your CV and explaining like the project with e-commerce that you worked on and talking about more like the details of this project and like technical details. And for other one, like for example, you are applying for like health company or something. So like CV should be polished a little bit based on the job description. Yeah, choosing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes,
update your skill set as per the job descriptions.
yes.
Yeah.
Because I know that like most of the companies are using tools to filter
Right.
CVs.
Hmm.
So like because for each job opening there is like as I said hundreds of like people applying.
Yeah.
So for sure like the recruiter will not like read 400 CV. So
Right.
they will filter it, and this tool of filtering CVs, it depends
Hmm.
on like the job description that is written.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's true. So update your skill sets according to the job descriptions, which can help you, achieve your goals or achieve the job roles you're looking for.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
What can fresher expect in terms of salary for entry level roles, and how should they approach salary negotiations?
It depends on the country he is applying for and on the company he is applying for. And if he is fresh starter or he is junior, I think no need to focus on the salary. Need to focus first on finding this job and he is improving his skills and like getting more experience because especially for juniors, it's hard to find the first job. So if you find the first job and like you started your career path with one company, regardless of the salary. So for your next job, you will be caring more about the salary. And for the next job, when you need to be confident and you need to like search what is the market prices, how much, and also use Glassdoor website like to know this company, like how much is the average salary they are giving, what is the average salary for my experience. So I think this is like the way, and you need to be confident. And it's not like discussing about buying something. Or it's like when you say that you discuss about the salary, you need to show like why you deserve this salary. What you will add for the company. Like always, you need to show that you will add one, two, three, four. For that, I deserve one, two, three.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's enough. Get your first job, gain some experience, and then ask the salary as per the market standards, right?
Mm.
Also, it depends on sometimes they mention the salary brackets that they are giving this much salary for this much experience. So you can just ask your salary based on that as well. Okay, so let's jump onto our part five, trends, AI, and future of mobile development.
This part.
Okay, so my first question is, do you think AI tools are replacing developers or just making us faster?
Actually, when person thinks that AI will replace us as developers, he is being negative
Yeah.
because I don't think in the next few years it will be possible. We know AI is growing so fast and they are adding so many features and so many AI like new things so fast. And to be honest, now I wanted to talk about this topic because people think in a negative way that AI could replace us, but what I see is now we are having tools to make us more productive. Okay, so for example, the feature that took me, for example, before 4 hours or of work, now it's taking me 1 hour with the help of AI because when you work with AI, for example, cursor, when you work with AI, it makes you more productive. As I said, like the task that took 4 hours before with me, now it's taking 1 hour, and it's following like the structure that I built. It's creating documentation. It's adding unit tests. So it's really making us more productive, and it's allowing us to apply what's like on our minds on what the things that took take so much time in like a fast way.
Yeah, that's
So
right. Yeah. I was watching, this Google's CEO's interview, and he has mentioned that, yeah, AI is there and it is growing very fast. But with the help of AI, we can build more apps. So we will be
yes,
needing more developers. So
yes.
it's not like it will be replacing the developers, but we will be needing more people.
Like it will not replace the developer totally. Like you cannot create a project or like application only with AI. Even like I see a lot of websites that now has low code creating like AI just with prompt. But I tried like many of them, but like you don't see them as production ready projects. Like they always need like person
Right.
who understand like from product wise on real life how this product will be used.
Agree with you because it still needs human brain. They are not doing like 100% of everything. You need to feed the data. You need to give
No,
a lot of other things, which can make your app functional. And you cannot trust it 100% because you don't know what
no,
the
you cannot trust it
yeah
100%. I tried a lot of things that letting AI build the features for me, and I review the code. It always needs changes, and if you allow him to edit so much, you will lose the context, and you will not know how to fix it anymore.
yeah.
This is the point.
Okay. And also the no code, low code platforms are growing. Are they a threat or an opportunity?
I think for small projects, MVP projects, I have an idea. I want to create MVP for it, like
Okay.
minimum value product. I can use these tools to create this project. But for a growing project, which is solve a real life problem and like it will like be a company in the end if this is what you are aiming for. So I don't think they are like a perfect tools, but like if you have a company already and you want to build a side project or you have like a side idea that you want to present it, like it's perfect to build with these tools, but not like fully project that you can build a company out of it.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, we are ending with our parts, but before we wrap up, we have a rapid fire section. So I want to ask quick questions. You can answer quickly. Favorite tech tool right now?
Cursor.
Your favorite tool
I
is
am, I am in love with Cursor now
yeah.
because really they are improving so much, adding so new amazing features. And for example, I will give you one thing, one new feature they are adding, which is Cursor rules. So I told Cursor, this is my rules for this project. You need to use one, two, three. You need to follow one, two, three, and it really do it perfectly.
Right.
So I'm like in love with this tool now and I'm using it so much. It really like the productivity is multiple three. with
Yeah,
Cursor.
actually, Cursor is really nice. I have used it like for a long time and now still using it. It builds
But
things very
I'm
quickly.
sc- I'm scared of if juniors like started with Cursor, they will not learn the basics and
Yeah, that's right.
they will not be able to solve the problems because you need to follow up on each step he is doing and you need to be understanding what he is doing.
Right.
So he is able to help you.
Yeah, I'm also worried about the same thing because I was checking it can do a lot of things. I was building a framework and I didn't know anything about it. But still, I was checking the files. Okay, this has been added, that has been added. What are the required things for that particular framework? I can understand it completely that if a fresher is building it, they will not be focusing, they will not be learning. So, yeah, that's something which should not happen. I think they should learn their basics and they should understand that they should know before building something. They should
Yes,
know the
exactly.
basics.
Yeah, to be able to solve a problem that the AI will create.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so my next question is React Native or Flutter or native? Pick one.
Flutter, 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 flutter.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, a mobile app you wish you had built.
I think Duolingo. It's so interesting
Duolingo.
project.
Oh, this is so interesting.
Yes,
I think it's
yes,
really, really, really nice app.
yeah,
Uh, like you
because
can
it's
learn,
really fun.
yeah, and funny also, and also you can learn a lot of languages.
Yes, really.
Yeah. Okay. First thing you check reviewing a resume.
The projects that he worked on.
Hmm.
So I know what the level of project he
Right.
worked on, what the features he built.
Right. Right. Okay. One book or course that changed your career.
There is no book or course that changed my career. I changed my career myself.
Oh, that's really a nice answer because I thought maybe you will be reading some books, but I
No,
think
no.
that's right. You can go through the documentation. You can learn by
Yes.
your own. You know what you're building. That's
Yourself is
yeah,
the key of
yeah,
building, not a course, not a book. You are the
yeah,
inspirer of yourself.
yeah. This is really nice. Summer, this was incredible. I'm sure listeners are walking away with tons of clarity and inspiration. Whether you are just starting out or looking to level up, mobile development has tons of opportunities. And as Summer showed us, with the right roadmap, tools, or mindset, you can absolutely break in. Thank you so much, Summer, for joining us today. It was such
Priyanka,
an incredible conversation.
thank you so much. Thank you. I enjoyed really
You
this
enjoyed it?
conversation.
If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and share it with someone who's looking to get into tech. Thank you for turning in. Until the next time, keep building, keep learning. Thank you.